Good afternoon and welcome to Oregon 5A High School softball action. Midwest League contest between the host Crater Comets and the visiting Willamette Wolverines. Glad you could join us this afternoon. It's great to be here to call all the action. Jim McCoy here on the microphone and bringing you all the pictures today. Wyatt Rainey on the camera. Looking forward to it. Kind of a cool day. American flag. You see a little bit of a breeze blowing out towards left center field, but a pretty gentle breeze at that. And it's great to have the kids out on the field playing once again. This is the second game of a doubleheader between the Wolverines and the Comets. A doubleheader this afternoon. The Comets victorious in the first game, 13-0, winning in dominating fashion. For the Wolverines, this is just their, the game we're about to show you will be just their third game of the season. They played a game against Corvallis back on March 16th and lost to Corvallis by a score of 10-0. So Willamette, very much a team that's getting its feet wet. And while not living up in the Eugene area, don't know a tremendous amount about the Wolverines, one thing I can say is I had the opportunity to watch many of these athletes in action just a couple of weeks ago back at the Oregon 5A girls basketball tournament up at Gill Coliseum in Corvallis. So here's what I know about this squad. I can tell you there's a lot of athletes on this team, and if they've got the skill and the experience to match it, everything here has the makings of a good matchup. Of course, Crater, one of the perennial contenders here in Southern Oregon. And 5A softball, spent some time in the 6A ranks as well. And they always produce some very fine softball teams. And if their results so far are any indication of what is to be expected for this year, they've got another fine team ready to go out there and compete. Make a little noise here in the Oregon 5A rankings. Coming into this action after the victory earlier today, raised their record to 6-2. Opened their season up on March 18th, the doubleheader against North Bend. Came away with a pair of wins there, winning by scores of 13-1 and 21-0. And then the only two losses that they incurred this year came in a tournament in Nevada. A pair of 2-0 shutouts suffered at the hands of Spanish Springs and Carson, Nevada, but they bounced right back with a victory over Livingston, California, 9-0. Then the next day, a victory against Churchill, Nevada, not to be confused with the Midwest League opponent, winning that game 9-4. And then the second game on the 26th of March found the Comets winning by a score of 8-0, and then the victory just a little bit earlier, that concluded a few moments ago, with the Comets winning by a score of 13-0. What we'll do right now is we'll take a quick time out, recognize some of our sponsors that helped to make today's broadcast possible. We'll do that, and on the other side of that, we'll get you ready for the start of today's contest. It's the Wolverines and the Comets here on TableRockSports.net.
Hello everyone, it's time for another episode of Traffic Safety First. Today we are going to be discussing some tips to help maintain a safe environment when operating your motor vehicle in a parking lot. Let's get to it. The information in today's video will include some ways to be extra cautious while in parking lots, specifically as they are heavily trafficked by vehicles and pedestrians. Here are some quick tips to keep yourself and pedestrians safe. Drive slowly in parking lots to be able to react as quickly as possible if a vehicle or pedestrian starts to enter your line of traffic. Make sure you have no distractions keeping you from paying attention to your surroundings. These can include radios being on, food or drinks nearby, or other passengers wanting your attention. If you see a vehicle attempting to leave a parking spot, stop with enough room to let the vehicle fully back out of their spot. Consider 2 car lengths of space as a guide for the minimum distance to give a reversing vehicle. Make sure to look behind you on all sides before attempting to back out of a parking space. Look into blind spots before turning into another flow of traffic or in and out of parking spaces. If you see a pedestrian trying to cross a line of traffic, stop your vehicle and let them cross. We hope you are able to take these tips with you when driving in parking lots to help keep yourself and those around you safe. Until next time, stay healthy, be safe, and thanks for watching. Hello again, I'm Officer Ashwell with the Central Point Police Department, and you're watching Traffic Safety First. Today we will be going over how to navigate four-way stops as a driver. Let's go. You've likely heard the term right-of-way before, but do you know what the actual definition is? According to ORS 801.440, the full definition of right-of-way is the right of one vehicle or pedestrian to proceed in a lawful manner in preference to another vehicle or pedestrian approaching under such circumstances of direction, speed, and proximity as to give rise to danger of collision unless one grants precedence to the other. That's obviously a fairly complicated definition, so in simpler terms, as it applies to driving, right-of-way extends to a driver deemed as having the right to continue driving before another driver. This applies unless the driver with the right-of-way communicates with another driver that they may go first. So the intersection behind me is actually a two-way stop, but today we're going to be talking about four-way stops. So when we talk about four-way stops, we are talking about intersections where four flows of traffic converge at one intersection and all vehicles must stop and yield the right-of-way before going through to the other side. To make this easier to understand for the visual learners, we're deploying our handy tabletop map and these awesome cars, and we're going to use those to illustrate four scenarios on how to yield at four-way stops.
Here's a common scenario that happens. You're driving along and get to a four-way stop slightly before someone else. This is providing you with the right of way, and you may enter the intersection before the other driver. A second scenario may be that you come to the stop at the exact time as another driver. In this case, the law states the right of way is for whoever is the most to the right in a configuration. Here, that would be the purple colored car. So that vehicle would have the right of way to go through the intersection first. For our third scenario, you may come to an intersection with the intention of turning at the same time as someone else who also has their blinker on, indicating they plan to turn. If neither vehicle would be traveling through the lane of travel as the other, both vehicles can proceed at the same time. And our fourth scenario, you come to an intersection at the same time as three other vehicles and everyone stops at the same time. This is pretty rare, but in this scenario, who would have the right of way? It's not possible to figure out who is the most to the right in this situation, so the way to handle this would be to use hand signals to grant precedence to other drivers. This happens usually by waving another vehicle to proceed first. Other drivers may take these steps before you do, so be sure all four drivers understand who is to go first before anyone proceeds to enter the intersection.
And that will be a wrap for our 23rd episode. I want to say thank you to PSS Duran for helping us make our video.
Thank you for having me.
We hope this takes some of the confusion out of yielding the right of way at four-way stops. We'll see you next month with another episode.
Eluding, he's northbound on 99. I need another unit to come in. Felony stop. Officer Ashford, you needed any brake footage? Can you knock next time? Sorry. Did you see anything? No, I didn't see you playing with your toy cars again.
Good. All right, how about you be the bad guy this time?
All right, but I'm warning you, I'm about to go 5.
Welcome back to the softball field at Crater High School as the Comets get ready to take on the Willamette Wolverines. Midwest League action in Oregon 5A softball. Jim McCoy along with Wyatt Rainey on the camera. Comets out on the field getting the warm-ups in. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this afternoon's ball game. First of all, for the visiting Wolverines, who will be wearing their road dark uniforms. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Jocelyn Rush. She'll be followed in the order by second baseman Reagan Obie. Playing third and batting third will be Shaylina Rhodey. In the cleanup spot, the center fielder, Kelly Olson. Hitting fifth will be the catcher, Lena Evans. In left field, hitting sixth will be Shaylee Gilbert. Batting seventh and pitching will be Jaden Ireland. Hitting eighth and playing first will be Azia Toker. And playing right field and hitting ninth will be Nayla Zwink. Head coach for Willamette is Jessamy Ireland. And the assistants, Joe Don and Leo. Comets out on the field now, taking their positions. Setting things up for you defensively. Maddie Shadell at first base. Playing second, Taylor Kenworthy. Here we go, first hitter of the ball game. That's a strike. And in the circle for the Comets is right-hander Susie Foster, a 5'8" sophomore. She'll get set, come to the plate, swing and a miss. Strike two. Pitchers counted 0-2. First hitter of the ball game. Leading off for the Wolverines is Jocelyn Russ, the shortstop. Foster winds, fires, swing and a miss. Actually, one of those pitches called a ball. So now the count goes 1-2. Just getting started here. Second game of a twin build between the Wolverines and the Crater Comets. Rush. Now the umpire. Little discussion there with the pitcher Foster. He'll put his mask on, the man in blue. And we'll resume action. 1-2 count to the first hitter of the ball game. Foster lines fires, a little bouncer in front of the plate, little comebacker, throws across the infield. Foster to Shadell. One up, one down in the first inning of action. That'll bring up Reagan Obi, wearing number 5, playing second base today. Left-handed hitter. Foster's first offering. Obi takes on that one. Count 1-0. Little cool this afternoon, but pleasant. Second pitch. That one off target. So now Obi ahead in the count, 2-0. Comets coach Chris Arnold seeing something out there that he wants to address, so he'll have a little discussion with his battery. Lily Reed playing catcher. And then setting the rest of that defense for you, we mentioned Shadell at first, Kenworthy at second, McKenna Cease at shortstop, Kaylee Davis at third. In right field is Sophia Van Way. Alyssa Kilbane roams center field. And out playing in left is Kaylin Wolchok. Behind the plate, Lily Reed, and your pitcher is Foster. Arnold heads back to the dugout. His defense resumes their positions. 2-0 the count to the second hitter of the ball game. One out here in the top of the first. Second game of a doubleheader between the Comets and the Wolverines. Foster, her next offering. Count goes 3-0. Obi going to try to see if she can't get something started here for the Wolverines in the top of the first. Foster has Obi taking. That'll run the count to 3-1. Something not unusual. If a 3-0 count, you say, I'm going to make this pitcher pitch to me, and I'll look at another one, even if it is a strike. Next pitch. Now the count goes full at 3-2. So Obi working a good at-bat to start the ball game. Putting Foster to work. Little pop-up on the infield, and there a great play at second base. Taylor Kenworthy jumps up and gets that one. 2 down in the inning. And that will bring up Shailene Road. Or Shaylin Rohde. Rohde playing third base today.
Now batting number 7, Shaylin Rohde.
I know parents will forgive a lot of things. Just don't mess up their kid's name. It's Shailene Rohde. Rohde, right-handed hitter. Wearing number 7. Swing, fouls that one back to the screen. So Foster gets ahead. And actually, I see Obi there on first base, so I was incorrect in my call there. I thought for sure that Kenworthy had made that play there at second base, but I stand corrected on that. So we have a runner on first with 1 down. Humbling moment there for the sports guy. But Obi, the runner at first base. And a 1 ball and 2 strike count to the hitter, Rohde. 1 out, top of 1. Foster winds, fires. Ball hit down the first base line. And Rohde ends up eking out a infield hit. That'll move the runner Obi into scoring position. So we have 2 on, 1 out, top of 1. That was just one of those balls that just kind of died right in front of home plate. And Rohde able to leg that one out. First pitch to the hitter Olson. A ball. Count goes 1-0. Little conference at the circle. Pair of hitters on. Ball hasn't left the infield yet, but nicely placed hit that Rohde was able just to get to die about 10 feet away from the plate to get herself on. And then Obi on in front of her. And a pitching change for the Crater Comets, getting set to warm up. Shadell will move over from first base. Matty Shadell, right-hander, 5'11 junior, opened the game at first base. But after a couple of, actually 3 hitters, Coach Arnold decided that that was enough work on the day for Foster, so she'll move over and play first base now. So early change for the Comets, who won the opening game 13-0, raising their record to 6-2 on the season. Lays down the bunt down the third base line. That one rolls foul. Count evens up at 1-1. Trying to move the hitters up after getting shot out in the first game. The Wolverines trying to see if they can't strike pay dirt early. Shadell, once again. The bunt attempt rolls foul down the third base line. 2 strikes the count. Well, imagine the bunt, the sacrifice will be off now with 2 strikes. Standing at the plate is Olson, the center fielder. Swing and a miss. And that will retire Olson. So 2 down in the top of the first. Shadell retires the first hitter she sees. And that'll bring up Lena Evans playing catcher today. First pitch. Waits on that one. And Evans gets a hold ahead in the count. 1-0. Ground ball to short. An attempted throw to third. Ends up being thrown towards the Wolverine dugout. And that'll bring a run home. So Willamette able to do in the first inning what they were unable to do in a full game of action against the Comets in the opener of today's game. And they take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. We got runners at second and third. Evans, who hit that grounder to short, and Cease attempting to make a play, ends up throwing it wide of her target.
Number 18, Shaylee Gilbert.
Now we have a substitute runner over at second base. Into the ball game's number 1, Delaney Smith. Shaylee Gilbert, right-handed hitter, up now against Shadell. First pitch low. Crater catcher. Reed doing a nice job there of keeping it in front of her. Count 1-0 to the number 6 hitter in the order. Shadell gets the hitter swinging there. Gilbert fouls it back. And that'll even the count up at 1 apiece. for the Wolverines. This just their third game of the season. Played Corvallis back on March 16th. Oh, line drive gets just past the shortstop. That'll land. And that will end the top of the first. After a half inning, it's the Wolverines on top 1-0. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play. But not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Go to the bottom of the first, and the Crater Comets will see their first turn on offense for the second game of a doubleheader between these two teams. Batting order for the Comets, leading off and playing third base is Kaylee Davis. Hitting second and playing center field, Alyssa Kilbane. Hitting third and playing left field is Kaylin Wolchok.
Number 12, Kaylee Davis.
Davis showing bunt right out of the chute. First pitch, a strike. In the circle today is Jaden Ireland. As that pitch called for a ball, that'll go 1-1. Next offering. That one's low. So the leadoff hitter, Davis, trying to get her way on, see if she can even things up. Will hit a fly out to center field. Making a play on it is Olsen. And that will retire the leadoff hitter, Davis. That'll bring to the plate the center fielder for the Comets, 5'6" junior, Alyssa Kilbane. She's playing center today, but she can also catch as well. Right-handed hitter. Step in. See what she can get done against Ireland. Ireland, just a freshman. A young Wolverines team with just 3 seniors on it. Two 2-0 count to Kilbane. Their fly out to center field. Olsen right there, playing it perfectly. 2 down for the Comets in the bottom of the first.
Now batting for the Comets,
And now up for the Comets, number 3 hitter in the order, Kaylin Wolchok, wearing number 16, playing left field today. 2 down in the bottom of the first. And the first pitch, looking high from here. It'll be a 1-0 count. Second offering, that'll even things up now. On deck for Crater, McKenna Cease. Bouncing ball, the short throw across the infield is in time. And that will end the Crater threat here in the bottom of the first. For the Comets, no runs, no hits, and no Wolverine errors. We'll be back with the top of the second right after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Gather and memories are made. Caprock Northwest Grill.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Top of the second. Willamette with a 1-0 lead, and the pitcher Jaden Ireland can see if she can help her cause by getting things started here in the second. Shadell comes to the plate, pop up just on the edge of the infield. Well played at second base by Taylor Kenworthy. 1 down in the inning. So Shadell on in relief of Foster, who started out and faced the first 3 hitters of the ball game. Now up is Asya Toker. First pitch, a ball. Shadell winds and fires that one a little low. And Toker ahead in the count. 2-0. She pitched in the opener for Willamette. Next pitch. A little line drive out to center field there to make the play. For Crater, Alyssa Kilbane runs in, records the out. 2 down in the top of the second. Shadell seems to have settled in the circle and throwing strikes. Her first pitch, swing and a miss by Nayla Zwink. Zwink playing right field today. So a pair of fly balls to open the second. On 1 to the count to the hitter, Nayla Zwink. Zoink, a right-handed hitting junior. She'll hit a ground ball out to second base, throws across to first, and that will end the top of the second. For the Wolverines, no runs, no hits, and no common errors. We'll take it to the bottom of the second after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between 7,000 be there.
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3P Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Thank you. At Crater High School, Comets will see if they can't try and pull even here. Get something going here in the bottom of the second. After the Wolverines were shut out in the opener 13-0, they'll put runs on the board, or a single run on the board in the top of the first to get things going today. Next pitch. Strike. Pitchers count now at 0-2. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second. Looked like the pitcher, Ireland, trying to see if she can't get the hitter fishing. Yeah, a little fly ball out to center field. Olson awaits, closes the glove on it for an out. So one down here in the bottom of the second as Ireland has pretty well sailed through the order for Crater. Maddie Shadell will come up and hit for the Comets after Cease had flied out. Shadell started the game at first base. And then, after a third of an inning, came on in relief of Foster. Count now 0-2. So Ireland right on target to start the ball game. Next pitch, that goes for a ball. It was 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ireland takes down her opposite, Shadell. 2 down in the inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Taylor Kenworthy. Nobody on. 2 out. High pitch. Back to the screen it goes. Here comes the next offering. That one off target. So it's a hitter's count now at 3-0. Ken Worley, junior infielder, playing second base. And she coaxes the walk. So the Comets get one on here with 2 out in the bottom of the second.
Now batting 26, Susie Foster.
Susie Foster, who started the game in the circle, now playing first base. First pitch is a strike. Count 0-1 in this 1-0 ball game. Feel that breeze picking up a little bit. On her way to second base. Sliding in, a ball overthrown. And Kenworthy makes her way down to third. So the Comets with a great opportunity here to tie up the ball game. 1-1 count to the hitter Foster. Ireland winds, fires. That pitch low. Now the count goes even at 2-2. So deuces are wild here in the bottom of the second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That one low. Now the count will go full at 3-2. On deck, Sophia Van Way. Drawing the walk. And hustling our way over to second base is Foster. So you have 2 runners in scoring position now as the Crater Comets trail by 1. Sophie Van Way comes up. Great opportunity to put some runs on the board. First pitch, a strike. A little pressure situation here for Ireland and the Wolverines. Next pitch. Ball is the call. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Foster, the runner at second. And that offering pounded into the ground to count now at 1-2 to Van Way. Little bouncing ball. That'll find the hole, and coming around and scoring A pair of runs for the Comets. Cease comes home, and so does Foster. Oh, the Comets pull ahead in this one. On a bouncing ball single by Sophie Van Way. She's the runner now at first base. As the number 9 hitter, the catcher, Lily Reed, comes up to hit. Called the ball here, so Comet attack, getting Ireland to labor a little bit here in the bottom of the second. She'd been sailing along pretty well through the first inning and here early in the second. But the Comets working, grinding, now holding a one-run lead. Foul ball hit down the third baseline. Reed will try it again. And the count now even at 2-2. Van Way with a 2 RBI single. A runner at first. And Reed works her way on, so now we have runners at first and second. Two out. Back to the top of the order for the Comets. And Kaylee Davis. She'll hit a fly ball out to left center field. It'll end up going over the left fielder's head. It bounces to the fence. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And it's a 4-1 ball game. Kaylee Davis, now 1 for 2 on the day. Hit that one over the head of the left fielder, Shaylee Gilbert. And now Alyssa Kilbane. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count goes even, and that pitch goes back to the screen. That'll send Davis to third. The Comets just 1 base hit away from extending the lead to 4. Foul ball hit out of play, back toward the bleachers. Count now at 1-2. 2 out in the inning. All that action in this inning has come with 2 outs. So the Comets doing a good job of getting some clutch hitting here in the bottom of the second to take a 4-1 lead. Next pitch, ground ball. That finds a seam. It goes through, base hit. Kilbane will bring another run home. Now your score is 5-1. As the Comets keep the hit parade going here in the bottom of the second. First pitch, a strike. to the number 3 hitter, Kaylin Wolchok. Runner on first with 2 out. Ground ball hit the short, throw across the infield, and that one gets away from the first baseman. So the Comets looking to tack on more here in the bottom of the second. All 5 of their runs coming in this frame. And now McKenna Cease, cleanup hitter, playing shortstop. 5'11" senior. First pitch is a strike. With runners at second and third. Ireland. Pitch fouled off. By the shortstop, Cease. Now fly ball up to left field, reeling it in, making the catch is Shaylee Gilbert, but not before the Comets put 5 on the board. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll bring you more softball action here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back to the softball field at Crater High School. The Comets rally from a 1-0 deficit to take a 5-1 lead, and now here we are in the top of the third inning. Shadell comes to the plate and a line drive hit out to left center field. This one will hit the fence. And a throw back to the infield, trying for 3 is number 11, Jocelyn Rush. And Rush gets in underneath the tag to hit a triple to open the inning. Nice piece of hitting by Rush. You get the Wolverines going here in the top of the third. And now that'll bring to the plate Reagan Obi. Obi, left-handed hitting second baseman. Golden opportunity here. With a runner on and a diving play by the second baseman. Nice work with the glove there by Taylor Kenworthy to get the out.
Number 7, Kaylin Brody.
I think there we have a good candidate for Webb Gems, don't you think? Nice little highlight defensive play there. Here's pitch low to the number 3 hitter, Shaylin Rohde. This top of the order has been a challenge for the Comets. That pitch goes back to the screen. And the count even at 1-1. That pitch high from Shadell. She's ahead in the count now. The hitter, Rohde, ahead in the count now at 2-1. Runner on third with 1 out. This pitch foul, that just got a piece of it. Rohde key in putting that first run on the board for the Wolverines in the top of the first. Ground ball hit to short. Going to be a play at the plate. And she's out. Good heads-up play on the toss from the shortstop. Davis making the throw home. That throw a bit high, but right there in enough time to catch the lead runner. On the fielder's choice, though, Rohde will be the runner at first with 2 out in the inning. First pitch low. And coming up with the steal is Rohde. She's in scoring position now. So a couple of nice defensive plays for the Comets here in the top of the third. Limiting the potential for damage, but they're not out of this yet. Rohde now, the runner in scoring position down at second base. And up at the plate is Kelly Olson, who's been very busy out in center field this afternoon. Ground ball taken by the shortstop, thrown across the infield to Foster, and that will end it for the Wolverines in the top of the third. So they get a triple to open things up, but unable to do anything with it. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll bring you more softball action, the Comets and the Wolverines on Table Rock Sports.
Even a few days to report a work injury or illness could cost you everything. But how do you know what you should do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
It's Ram Truck Month going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s or test drive a new 2022 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Ram Truck Month, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So your workers' comp claim was denied. Or was it accepted? Now what are you supposed to do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Go to the home half of the third inning. The Comets, little dance with danger in the third inning on a triple by Jocelyn Rush. Unfortunately, unable to score. Thrown out at the plate by the Crater shortstop, McKenna Cease. The Comets, who put 5 on the board in the bottom of the second, will see if they can't extend the lead now. Against Ireland and the Willamette Wolverines out of the Eugene area, Midwest League opponent. Good contact there from Shadell. That a little wide of third, so I'll take another crack at it here. So the count now 0-1 on the leadoff hitter for the Comets in the bottom of the third. That pitch low. Count even up at 1-1. Now, without the benefit of being a fly on the wall in the conversation, she did not start at pitcher to begin the ball game. They went with the sophomore Foster, who recorded it out on the first hitter, ran into a little bit of trouble on the next 2 hitters. And I don't know whether there was just something that Coach Arnold saw that maybe something with Foster's arm, or maybe it was just the type of deal where he wanted to give her a little bit of an opportunity to see a few hitters, and that the plan maybe was to bring Shadell in to pitch all along. Speaking of which, Shadell goes to the dugout. 1 out in the inning. And Taylor Kenworthy will come up to hit. She hits one just outside the third baseline. Count goes 0-1. Little bouncing ball to short, throw across the infield. Nice stretch there by the first baseman, Asya Toker. She really had to lay out to get that one, but she manages to do so, and there's 2 outs in the inning.
Number 26, Susie Foster.
Not particularly tall, but being left-handed, you like that on the 3-6-3 double play, and she makes up for her lack of height. You can just tell she knows what she's doing right around that bag and does her work well. 2 out in the inning, 1-0 the count. Strike on the pitch from Ireland evens up the count at 1-1. Susie Foster, the hitter, and she hits a nice line drive to left field, base hit. So Foster 2 for 2 on the day. Gives the Comets a runner on with 2 out in the inning. Sophie Van Way, who waved the big stick in the second inning. We'll see if she can't do it once again. This time, a bouncing ball to third base. Throw across the infield is in time. And that will put an end to the Comet threat here in the bottom of the third. After 3 complete, it is a 5-1 ball game. We'll be right back after these messages.
At 3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform?
Thirsty for change?
Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will bid online and win.
Yes! Yes!
which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with Crispy Crunchy Chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
Lena Evans will lead things off in the top of the 4th inning. Glad you could be here with us. It's great to be with you. Jim McCoy along with Wyatt Rainey working on the camera as the Comets hold a 5-1 lead in the ball game. First pitch is a strike from Shadell. To Lena Evans, Wolverines catcher. This pitch fouled off. Hey, pitchers count now at 0-2. Shadell settling into a groove in the circle. Her defense behind her doing a nice solid job of taking on what's hit to them. Pitch a little off target. Count now goes to 1-2. That one catches the foot of Evans. That'll bring her down to first base. So a runner on. After Evans is hit by the pitch, I'll bring a courtesy runner on. And Delaney Smith will go ahead and check in and take over the duties of running at first base. Shaylee Gilbert, now the left fielder for the Wolverines, comes up. Lays down the bunt. And a foul call there. So the count goes 0-1. So Evans gets on, replaced as a runner by Smith. That pitch high. And that will even the count up at 1 apiece. Next pitch. That one fouled away. Gilbert hanging in with a 1-2 count. With a runner at first here in the top of the 4th. Shadell. That pitch low. And Smith will take off. And she moves into scoring position now. With nobody out here in the top of the 4th.
Now batting number 14, Jaden Ireland.
Ireland lays down the bunt, throw to first base. That one short hop by the first baseman, gets away, and some trouble here for the Comets in the fourth inning. Little rundown there, but the runner is able to get back. And a run scores for the Wolverines, making it a 5-2 ball game. So Ireland down at second after the defensive miscue by the Comets culminates in a Willamette run. Enabling the runner Smith to score. Now coming up to the plate, Asia Toker. We'll have a courtesy runner down at second. Pretty common practice usually with the pitcher. Save those legs for the pitching duties. Now fly ball hit out to right field. Van Way makes the catch. And Van Way looking alive and making a nice play on the ball, records the out. And it remains a 5-2 ball game. Did a nice job of getting that throw back to the infield. Lest the runner at third have any designs of tagging up. The runner down at second, coming into the ball game for Ireland to run. That's Kayla Morris. We have a 1-1 count. Now make that 1-2. Now, scoreboard says 1 out. I'm almost positive that another out was recorded in the inning and that the scoreboard operator may have missed it, but we'll see if I'm right or not. We'll show 1 for now. I'll defer to them on that. But what we do know, what we do have is runner at second, runner at third. So the tying run at the plate and a count of 2-2 here in the top of the fourth. Little pop up on the infield. Doing a nice job there of handling it as Davis. And that is the second out of the inning. So I stand corrected on that. The scoreboard has been right all along, and I'm glad now that I stuck with that. Chanel comes to the plate. That pitch high. That'll send the runner in from third. And she's safe. So a wild pitch brings the runner home. And it's a 2-run game. Now with Morse, the runner at third, with 2 out in the inning. Up at the plate is Jocelyn Rush. Count 1-0. That pitch ends up going back to the screen. Morris thinks about it a little bit, but comes back. And the count 2-0 to Rush. Next pitch, that one's low. Schnell, a little bit of trouble with control here in the top of the fourth. Wolverines making things interesting here as they put a pair of runs on the board here in the fourth. And next pitch, that's high. 3-0 the count now.
Now batting number 5, Reagan Obie.
And drawing the walk is Rush. First pitch, that's a strike to Obie. Had a chance to watch Reagan Obie in action a little bit at the 5A Girls State Tournament. Of course, you Wolverine fans know that you had the top-ranked team in the Oregon 5A going into the tournament. Next pitch, that's popped up wide of third by Obie. A foul ball. That'll bring everybody back. Reset things, and now we have an 0-2 count. With 2 out in the top of the fourth. Nice effort play there. Couldn't quite get to that foul ball, and it was just a little wide of third. Almost looked for a second like the left fielder had it. Obie pops this one up. And the count remains at 0-2. Runners at the corners. With 2 out, a 2-run ball game. So Obie representing the go-ahead run at the plate. That pitch low and scampering down to second base with the steal is Rush. Now we have runners at second and third. A 1-2 count to Obie. 2 out here in the top of the fourth. Next pitch, little bouncing ball. And a couple of runs come around. It's a tie ball game. So a tricky play there in the infield. The throw gets away from Foster. So that allows 2 runs to score, and that'll tie the game up at 5 apiece. And the go-ahead run at first. It's been a challenging inning for the Comets, who've surrendered 4 runs in this frame. And now up to hit is Shaylin Rohde. Rohde's swinging a miss. She took a big, mighty cut at that. And a quick throw down to first, as if to let Obie know that she is not forgotten down there. Trying to see if they can't get her leaning the wrong way. That pitch high. And that'll take the count to 1-2. Shadell. And that over the glove of Foster. Obi down to third. And the throw doesn't get there in time. So the rally stays alive. A tie ball game now with runners at the corners. And Kelly Olson, the hitter, playing center field today. The go-ahead run down at third. That first pitch called a strike. So Chanel starts out ahead of the count, 0-1. 2 out in the inning. The next offering, that one down in the dirt. Reed keeps it in front of her. But the trailing runner, Shaylin Brody, advances to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position. That pitch low, the count will go now 2-1. The Wolverines with 4 runs here in the top of the 4th. Game thus far, a far cry from the opener today, where the Comets prevailed 13-0. Shadell bouncing ball just wide of third. Count is full. Next pitch. That one's low. That'll load the bases now. As Kelly Olson goes down to first. Ducks on the pond with 2 out in the top of the 4th. And Comets coach Chris Arnold will come out to the mound. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Shadell will leave the circle. And warming up is junior Megan Allen. Now we'll see what this does in terms of any moves around the field. Shadell had actually started the game at first. And Shadell came on about 4 hitters into the ball game. And sailing along pretty good for a while, but obviously here in the 4th, it's been a tough one for Shadell and the Comets. Tie ball game, 5-5, with 2 out here in the top of the 4th. So Allen comes on in relief. Shadell will now go back to first base. Also looks like we've got Peyton Schwab into the ball game wearing number 4. She's in at second base. So Ellen will see what she can do to stop the bleeding here in the top of the 4th. Also saw Alexis Perez, who I believe was the winning pitcher for Crater in the opener. Looks like she's going to go down and maybe take some warm-up tosses. Saw her making her way to the bullpen, which is shielded from us. Bases loaded with 2 out. 1-0 the count. That one pulled wide of third. And that'll even the count up at 1-1. Oh, the Wolverines looking to see if they can't salvage a split in this one. This just their 3rd game of the season. By contrast, after the opening win, the Comets, this is their 9th contest of the season. Seeing a lot of action in a spring break tournament in Nevada. One can't help but think that maybe with the presence of some of the basketball players on the roster, and it's always tricky too, trying to keep a roster together during spring break when families may have vacation plans. Pitched by Allen. We got the count even now at 2-2. Next pitch, that's high. The count goes full now at 3-2. Lena Evans, Wolverines catcher. Payoff pitch. Ground ball to short. Throw across the infield. And Shadell can't hold on. So the Wolverines pull ahead. As they score their 5th run of the inning and take a 6-5 lead. As we saw last time, Evans will come out for a runner. And Delaney Smith will come in, wearing number 1 for the Wolverines. Now Allen, the Crater pitcher, will see her 2nd hitter of the inning. With her team now down by 1. The pitch. That'll be fouled off. So Megan Allen starts out ahead. 0-1. Base is still loaded, and the Wolverines now with the lead. Allen winds, fires. That pitch a little high, but she got Gilbert swinging there, and she's now ahead in the count. 0-2. Allen. And that one hit right to the 3rd baseman. Taking it is McKenna Cease. And that will end the inning, but not before the Wolverines score 5 and take a 6-5 lead. We'll pause for messages, and when we return, we'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform?
Thirsty for change?
Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will bid online and win.
Yes! Yes!
Which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
Back here at Crater High School, we go to the bottom of the fourth, and a big inning for the Wolverines puts them up on top by a score of 6-5. So Ireland heads to the circle with a little wind in her sails. That first pitch low to the Comets' leadoff hitter. Count 1-0 now. Ireland comes to the plate. Hitter taking all the way on that. Well, the count goes 2-0. This pitch high, and now a hitter's count at 3-0. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the fourth. Comets trying to see if they can't work their way back into the lead. Comet leadoff hitter. Lily Reed, the catcher. She's on now. Get things started here in the bottom of the fourth. Kaylee Davis now up to hit. Davis shows bunt. Just got a piece of it, and then the count goes 0-1. Next pitch high, runner will take off, and crime pays for Reed as she puts herself in scoring position with the stolen base. Next pitch, ground ball to short. Throw across the infield. Davis, the out at first. Runner advances, though, to third. Alyssa Kilbane. Next hitter for Crater, opportunity to tie up the ball game. First pitch is low. Ball in the dirt. Gets Reed thinking, but Wolverines catcher doing a nice job of keeping it in front of her. Lena Evans. Comet hitter now ahead in the count, 2-0. Alyssa Kilbane playing center field. Nice line drive. That'll land in center field for the base hit, and we've got a tie ball game. Alyssa Kilbane saying, hey, this one's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Brings the run home. And she's now down at second, representing the potential go-ahead run. And now up to hit for the Comets, the left fielder, number 16, Kaylin Wolchok. Little bouncing ball. Fouls it off. So the count, 0-1 to the 5'8" senior. Next pitch by Ireland, a ground ball, finds the opening, coming around and scoring. Alyssa Kilbane gets the Comets back up on top by a score of 7-6. So the Comets retake the lead. Off the hit by Wolchok. A little bit of heads-up base fronting as they try to dispense with Kilbane, ends up resulting in her marking her all the way to third on what was really essentially a single. So now not only does Crater own a one-run lead, but they've got another right around the corner with one out. A little conversation on the mound, or the circle, if you will. And now McKenna Cease. See if she can help give Crater a little bit of separation here in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch to the plate, that one low. And the count goes 1-0. Let me update the scoreboard here. There is one out in the inning. The pitch. Cease showing bunt. That one's fouled away. And the count will go even at 1-1. Next pitch high, gets away from the catcher. And coming home to score is Wolchok. And now the Comets have a 2-run lead. So now the base is empty. And now Crater up by 2. That pitch high. Appears from this point of view, Ireland may be showing some signs of fatigue here in the bottom of the fourth. Next pitch. That one low. And now down to first is McKenna Cease. Maddie Shadell will come up and hit now. Tall right-handed hitter, 5'11", junior. Taking off and running and heading down into scoring position. That's McKenna Cease. Want to know the count to Shadell, who started the game at first. Pitched for a good stretch of the ball game. I want to say it was 3 innings, 3 1/3. And then returned to play first as Allen came on in relief. And it looks like we've got a pitching change. Taking her warm-up tosses is Amari Rose Gabica, one of 3 seniors on this Wolverines roster. Ireland putting in a hard day's work, and now she'll give way to Gabica. And as she takes her warm-up tosses, we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
So Gabica will take over at the bump. Runner at third. 1 down. Comets leading 8-6 in the nightcap of a doubleheader that started at 3 o'clock today. Gathering at the circle. Count 2-0 to the Crater hitter. Gabica comes to the plate, the pitch high. And the play at the plate, almost out of play at the plate there, but the runner Cease managing to get back to third base. Managed to get back there before the Wolverines could put down a tag on the runner. And so now we have a 3-0 count on the hitter Shadell. And what has turned out to be a long at-bat. That pitch high, and Shadell will go ahead and make her way down to first base. So with one down, we have runners at first and third.
Number 4, Peyton Schwab.
Peyton Schwab comes to the plate. She'll get a hold of it, and she drops it into left center field for a base hit. 2 runs will score. As Schwab gets good contact on that one. And the Comet runner's ready for that one, and their lead is now 4. Megan Allen, who came on in relief of Shadell, is now the hitter. She'll pop this one up wide of first. That'll end up bouncing out of play just over the fence. And the count goes 0-1. Just one out here in the inning in the bottom of the 4th. This inning began with the Comets leading 5-1. Bouncing ball to short, throw across the infield is in time, and that's 2 away. Yeah, this inning started with a Comet 4-run lead at 5-1, but they rallied against the Comets, took the 6-5 lead, and then the Comets have answered with 5 more of their own to make it a 10-6 ball game. Heading now for Crater, Sophie Van Way. Strike the call. Even things up at 1-1. 2 out in the inning. Comets up by 4. Runner Schwab is at second base. Bouncing ball. That one gets through. Schwab makes the turn at third. She'll come home, and the Comets now lead by 5. It's like the ball had eyes. That one just snuck away from the shortstop rush. And now Reed will come up to the plate. First pitch high. Count goes 1-0. Gabica in relief of Ireland gets the count now even at 1-1, 2 out in the inning. Breeze kicking up here late in the inning. And now a fly ball out to center field. Bringing it in is Olsen, and that will end the inning, but not before the Comets put 6 on the board to retake the lead. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with the top of the 5th right after these messages.
Even a few days to report a work injury or illness could cost you everything. But how do you know what you should do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
It's Ram Truck Month going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s or test drive a new 2022 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Ram Truck Month, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So your workers' comp claim was denied. Or was it accepted? Now what are you supposed to do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Here at Crater High School, out on the softball diamond, the Comets back on top by 5. Fly ball off the bat of Gabica, but it is taken by the Comets, and we've got one down in the inning here in the top of the 5th. So nice work in center field by Alyssa Kilbane. Allen going to see if she can't help begin to put the wraps on this contest from a pitching perspective. Toker up at the plate. That pitch low. And the count 1-0. Second offering from Allen. That'll bounce up to the plate. Count now 2-0. Said it was supposed to be a cold one tonight, and I can see it's feeling that part already. And now a line drive out to left field over the glove of the Crater left fielder. And Toker goes the other way. To record the extra base hit. So Asia Toker, the junior first baseman, saw her pitch in the opener. She gets the one-out double here. See if she can't help get something going. Lays down the bunt to first, gets away from the second baseman Schwab, and the run comes around, and the Wolverines score. It's an 11-7 ball game. So Nayla Zwenk gets on. Lays down a well-placed bunt that at first looked like a sacrifice, but tough play at first for the Comets. So now we have a runner on first with one out. Throw down to first. Runner back in time. Allen, the pitcher. This is her second inning of work in the contest. Little bouncing ball wide of third. The next pitch from Allen. Taking her time. And she'll drop one in. Base hit. Out to dead center. So you got 2 runners on. 1 away in the inning. And out comes the coach for the Crater Comets, Chris Arnold. And we've got a pitching change. This will give us an opportunity to go ahead and take a quick timeout. And when we return, we'll bring more softball your way here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Here at Crater High School, Alexis Perez coming on in relief. And again, if I'm not mistaken, I believe she was the pitcher and the opener of this doubleheader that started at 3 o'clock today. Crater winning that ball game by a score of 13-0. So she'll see if she can't put the lid on this as Reagan Obie comes up. She'll lay down the bunt. They'll throw over to third. And that is ruled a foul ball. So everybody goes back. We have runners at first and second with 1 out in the inning. Count even now at 1-1. Perez, sophomore right-hander. And once again, bunt. A little bit wide of third. So we'll do it again. 1-2 the count to Reagan Obie playing second base. That pitch up a little high, but she offers at it. And there's 2 down. So, Shaylin Rohde comes up to hit. Runners at first and second with 2 out in the inning. Rohde gets ahead of the count, 1-0. Rohde. Trying to work her Wolverines back into this contest. That pitch high. So now we have a hitter's count at 3-0. One will assume that she'll be taking all the way on this pitch. And a strike the call. Rohde was ready to take a little stroll, but umpire says not so fast. So she'll stand in now. Still ahead in the count, though, at 3-1. Next pitch, that one fouled away, and now the count goes full at 3-2. A seesaw affair continues. Wolverines threatening here, trailing by 4 in the ball game. They got out front first, taking a 1-0 lead in the first. Then at the bottom of the second, Crater appeared to have broken it open by taking a 5-1 lead. Rhodey draws the walk. Patience pays off. And now the bases are loaded. So the tying run now up at the plate with Kelly Olson, the center fielder. Well, the Comets broke out 5-1, and then in the top of the fourth, Wolverines came rallying back, then took a lead. And then the Comets answered with 6. To take a 5-run lead, and then here in this inning, in this half anyway, Wolverines get one back. Count now even at 1-1. 2 out. Swing and a miss. Perez now ahead in the count, 1-2. That one fouled away. So the hitter, Olson, staying alive. Swinging, that one fouled back. Perez. And another pitch fouled off. So Olson working a good at-bat here with 2 gone. And the bases loaded, and our team down by 4 here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch, swing and a miss. Clutch pitching there by Perez, and that'll get the Comets out of the inning. We'll go to the home half of the 5th, and the Comets leading this ball game 11-7. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be right back here on TableRockSports.net.
Gather and memories are made. Taprock Northwest Grill.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Back here at Crater High School, we're getting ready for the home half of the 5th inning. Comets with a 4-run lead in what has turned out to be a high-scoring affair. Gavica, who came on in relief last inning, remains in the circle. Her first pitch is a ball. Kaylee Davis, right-handed hitter. Shows good patience at the plate, and now she's ahead in the count, 2-0. Next pitch, that one right down the first baseline. But there to take it is Toker. She'll run to the bag. And there's one down. Now hitting is Alyssa Kilbane, the center fielder. First pitch, she'll let that one go by for a ball. Count goes 1-0. Gavica swing and a miss. Count evens up now at 1-1. Gilbane didn't get cheated on that one. Mighty swing of the bat. It comes up empty on that one. Now fouls this next pitch off. This one will end up landing out of play as the count goes 1-2. Sun starting to work its way down in the west. Pitch in the dirt. That'll even things up at 2s. One out here in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch high. The count goes full at 3-2. Now a ground ball straight up the middle, base hit. Kilbane gets aboard with one out.
Number 16, Kaylin Wolchok.
And that'll bring up Kaylin Wolchok playing left field. She shows bunt. Now throw down to first. Wolchok ahead now on the count at 1-0. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. And the Wolverines paying due attention to Kilbane down at first base. Ball bounces foul. Gavica now ahead in the count, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Walchuk is retired. 2 down in the inning now. Kilbane ends up swiping second. Now up the head is number 30, Abigail Foster, junior utility player. She is presently ahead in the count, 1-0 with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Crater with the 4-run lead on the strength of 5 runs in the second and a 6-run 4th inning. Gavica, that one low, gets away from the catcher, and that'll send Kilbane down to third. Great opportunity in her first at bat of the day for Foster to pick up an RBI here. Two and 0 the count right now. Make that 3-0. Gavica winds, fires that offering off target. And that'll send Foster down to first. So now we have runners at first and third. 2 out. And that'll bring up Shadell. Maddie Shadell, been busy today. At least here in this contest. Started out at first, and the first inning came on in relief. Pitched for about 3+ innings, and then moved back to play first base today. First pitch. A ball is the call to make it 1-0. Next offering, that one's low, but Shadell offers at it to even the count up at 1-1. Next pitch, that one's popped up out in kind of no man's land, and that one will land in center field. So Shadell brings home a run as Kilbane scores and makes it a 12-7 ball game here. Shadell gets a little extra out of it, and now we have runners at second and third with 2 out.
Number 4, Peyton Schwab.
Peyton Schwab. At the plate. Solid hit, but a ground ball right to the shortstop, and that will end the inning. But not before Crater puts up one more on the board. They have a 12-7 lead. We'll be back with more following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play. But not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
We go to the top of the sixth. Perez, who came on in relief in the fifth inning, will remain in the circle for the Crater Comets.
Batting for Willamette, number 2, Lena Evans.
Lena Evans comes to the plate for the Wolverines, who trail by 5. Coming into today's action, they had an 0-1 record. Only game that they'd played coming into this afternoon's action was a 10-0 loss at the hands of Corvallis back on March 16th. Earlier today, in the opener of the doubleheader, Crater wins 13-0 and now lead 12-7 in this one. Evans, the Wolverines catcher, awaits the pitch. She'll come to the plate. That pitch high, and she'll draw the walk to open the inning. Evans aboard. The leadoff hitter here in the top of the sixth inning. And as we've seen earlier in the ball game, Evans comes out for a courtesy runner. That'll bring in Delaney Smith. And now, up to bat, Shaylee Gilbert, left fielder for Willamette, against Perez, the pitcher. First pitch fouled off. Count goes 0-1. So a runner aboard with nobody out, top of the sixth. Crater looking to raise its record on the young season to 7-2. And the Comets paying due attention to the runner down at first, Smith. Throw over. She scampers back. Count even now at 1-1. Got a lot of action coming up. Make sure that not only do you subscribe to the YouTube channel for TableRockSports.net. That way you can keep up on all the games and viewing opportunities that come up there. It's always fun to watch those games on demand. You know, maybe you're busy working or have something else going on. You can go back later and watch it. Little pop-up on the infield. Schwab is there. Schwab will chase the runner back to first base. One down in the inning. And that'll bring Amari Gabika Wolverines pitcher. Up to the plate. 1 down, runner on first. Bit of a high strike there in the call to make it 0-1. Perez. Her next pitch. Little grounder down to short. Throw across the infield is in time. So Gabiga the out. But that'll send the runner Smith down to second. So she's in scoring position now with 2 out. And now Ajia Toker playing first base in this game. Saw her pitching a little bit while we were setting up during the first game. Perez tries to get her fishing, and Doker is like, nah, I don't think so. Count goes 1-0. Swing and a miss. That'll even things up now at 1-1. Got the Rotary Relays coming up, and for you track and field fans later in the week, teams from all over the valley. Count goes 1-2. Teams from all over the valley, it'll be a good meet. Friday will be at Spiegelberg Stadium. Primary focus will be on running events. Then on Saturday over at North Medford High School, it'll be mostly field events done in a relay formats. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will end the Willamette threat in the top of the 6th. Stick around. We got more coming your way. You're watching Crater Comet and Willamette Wolverine action here on TableRockSports.net.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between 7,000 and
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3-peat Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Back here at Crater High School, getting ready here for the bottom of the 6th inning. Comets on top in this one by a score of 12-7. Looking around here for lights. Always wonder if at some point darkness doesn't end up becoming a factor. For those of you who are fans of international soccer, the Team USA can advance to the World Cup if they make sure that they don't lose by any more than 6 goals in the game. Right now, just see where Costa Rica just scored in the 59th minute of that match and now own a 2-0 lead against the U.S. They'll draw on Friday for pool play. Back to softball. Kaylee Davis up. Leadoff hitter. And she's out. Actually, that wasn't Davis. That was Alexis Perez. First out of the inning. Perez did not start the game, but she came on in relief of Shadell. And now Sophie Van Way. At the plate. She throws left-handed, but is a right-handed hitter. Falls behind on the count, 0-1. Gabika in relief of Ireland in the circle. This pitch high, and the count evens up at 1-1. Next pitch on the way, line drive out to dead center, base hit. Sophie Van Way gets aboard. With one out in the bottom of the sixth.
Number 6, Lily Reed.
And now the catcher, Lily Reed, steps up, steps in. Awaits the pitch. Makes contact, but fouls this one off. And the count goes 0-1. Gabika comes to the plate, and they'll throw back to first. Count now even at 1-1. Next pitch. Gabika gets that one over for the strike, and she's now on the head on the count at 1-2. The next offering, swing and a miss. Gabika picks up the K. Two outs now in the inning. Kaylee Davis now up. For the Comets, who lead by 5 in the game. First pitch high. And again, throw down to first base. Sun going down, and it is getting cold. For you weather watching types, the low is supposed to get down to 40 tonight. And that pitch low. Hit her ahead in the count, 2-0. And a runner down to second base. So swipe by Van Way puts the runner in scoring position. A little discussion going on between the umpire and Coach Ireland. Two 2-0 the count to the hitter Davis. And there's a strike as the count goes 2-1. That pitch misses for a ball as the count goes 3-1. Little contact there, but the line drive caught by Kabika, and that will end the Crater threat here in the bottom of the sixth. Sixth complete now, and we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team. I just want to play. But not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Starting things off for Willamette number 3, Mila Zwink.
Okay, we're back. Top of the seventh. One last opportunity for the Willamette Wolverines. 2-2 the count to the leadoff hitter. And that pitch right down Broadway. One down here on the top of the seventh. As Perez comes on in relief. Next up for the Comets, they'll be in action Saturday for doubleheader action at home against Sheldon. As for the Wolverines, as the count goes 1-0, they will be in action on Tuesday with a home date against Churchill. Now I'll bring the scoreboard up to date here. 1-1 the count, one down here in the top of the seventh, 12-7 ball game. Perez, that pitch low. Count goes 2-1 to the leadoff hitter, Jocelyn Rush. That one pounded in the dirt, throw across the infield, and she beats the throw. So Rush hustles down to first, giving her team a little glimmer of hope here as they look to pick up their first win of the young campaign. This just their third ball game of the year. So now you have Rush down at first. And Reagan Obi, left-handed hitting second baseman. Call the strike. Down goes 0-1. Oh, and 2 the count. As Perez tries to slam the door on this one. Run at first, though. And now the count goes 1-2. Little pool cue shot ends up going down the third baseline. Obi the hitter. Runner down at first is Jocelyn Rush. Little ground ball. Throw down to second. They get the lead runner as they get the out at second. And then the double play ball. So the Crater Comets ended up going on to victory. Double play puts an end to this ball game, and the Crater Comets raised their record to 7-2 after the sweep of Willamette, winning the opener by a score of 13-0 and taking the nightcap by a score of 12-7. We thank you for joining us this afternoon for softball action here on TableRockSports.net. For my cameraman, Wyatt Rainey, I'm Jim McCoy saying thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to being with you again soon.